The NBA draft is right upon us, and we got a blockbuster trade yesterday. Mikal Bridges traded to the New York Knicks. They're literally becoming the Villanova Wildcats. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. They have that amazing team that really didn't lose, just dominated the tournament, and now they are all playing on the same team in New York, and that sounds great, right? That sounds great until you look at this trade and realize they traded 5 first-round picks and more for Mikal Bridges. And Mikal Bridges is a guy that, we talk about winning basketball. He's one of those guys, those long wings that plays defense, always healthy, kind of a very Tom Thibodeau-esque kind of guy, like the perfect guy. But 5 first-round picks for a guy that was the number 1 player on the team and averaged 19.6 points per game and more. 5 first-round picks, a pick swap, and players. Like, it was an unbelievable haul for a guy that has never made an all-star game and averaged less than 20 points as the number 1 option on a team where he played 82 games.
Yeah, the Nets turned KD into like
10 first.
Yeah, 10 first-round picks, which in turn kind of shows you that like the Suns also overpaid for KD. And it is KD, first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the greatest scorers of all time. But still, at this stage in his career, looks like the Suns overpaid. And then the Nets got even more. Absolutely unbelievable job by their GM. Good for him. Good for that organization. The rebuild there's enough there to rebuild. They're obviously going all in on 2025's loaded draft class. But as far as the Knicks, I think I'm torn because he's never made an all-star game. He is last year he had a down year. But he isn't a 30-point guy, a 5 first-round pick guy. He plays great defense. He's always available. He plays that winning basketball that you talked about. But more than all of that is he is the most valuable role in the NBA today. And it just goes to show what NBA teams are willing to pay for a 3-and-D guy. I mean, that's what I got out of this, is that the price of a all-NBA superstar who averages 30 points and 10 assists in Trae Young is not going to net that, because the 3-and-D model just showed you the Boston Celtics did it. The Knicks are clearly trying to kind of match that. And if they can re-sign OG Anunoby, which I'd say most people believe they are going to. I mean, I don't think the Knicks make this trade unless they think they can re-sign OG. OG and Mikal Bridges on the wings, they match up with Jaylen Brown.
I don't know what their cap situation's like. I don't think they can hand OG Anunoby a max contract anymore. That'd be shocking. I mean,
I don't know why
they also have guys like Isaiah Hartenstein. Yeah, but
I think the assumption is he's walking.
No, I mean, I saw yesterday that he was coming back. But I don't know what the Knicks are trying to do. I mean, to me, like, the cap is always so funky to me, because I look at a team like the Atlanta Hawks and we just are sitting here cap strapped and can't make a move. And then you see a team like the Knicks who already have Jalen Brunson to a big contract. They already have, all these guys.
Mikal Bridges is on like $20 million per year.
Julius Randle to a big contract. I'm just saying, but then Mikal Bridges is going to have to get a new contract. Now, part of the stipulation was he wanted to be in New York and told his representatives that's where he wanted to be, and he's willing to sign an extension. So they were like, all right. But like, how does all this money work? Like, at some point, it's like you don't have enough money to go.
The tax
around,
man
right?
is coming.
Yeah, but when you're the Knicks, who cares? I mean,
that's also a big thing. Is you're the Knicks, you can start charging now. Let's just say you kind of get all the pieces that you want. Knicks prices in Madison Square Garden were already outrageous. You can charge anything you want now. Yeah. Anything you want.
But my point is the NBA has really tried to put a stop to all these like super type things. And listen, I'm not calling the Knicks a super team because I don't even know if Mikal Bridges is an all-star talent. But the fact is, all these guys, Jalen Brunson, whenever his contract's up, I don't know, he's going to want a max contract. Like Julius Randle, max contract. Mikal Bridges, max contract. Like, all these guys are like, you're talking about
OG's going to get something close.
OG, if you're trying to bring him back, max contract.
He should hold their feet to the fire.
Yeah, so it's like a lot of these guys. But I mean, as this pertains to the Hawks, the big question is, why is Trae Young, why are we talking about, when we look at these mock trades, getting 1 or 2 first-round picks and some random scrubs and some random scrub on the tree? And you're right. The truth is, guys that can handle the ball, that are skilled, that are 6'8" and above, or 6'9", 6'10", whatever they are, like, they do not grow on trees. They are the most rare human beings on the entire planet. Like, in any sport,
and he shoots 38 from deep.
Yeah,
they
are the skilled wings are there's few and far between. Even at the NBA level, they're kind of like a unique person, like a unicorn type player that just really just kind of came into the NBA. I mean, 6, 7, 10, even 10 years ago, let's say 10 years ago, you didn't have a bunch of these guys. You had a LeBron James. Now you got like all of these guys that are LeBron James's size in terms, maybe not muscle wise, but that size, that long wing that are very skilled. And you can credit LeBron James possibly, but it is, they are the unicorns of the NBA. And
the most sought after.
The question is, what can you get for Trae Young if you're really dangling him out there? Because I look at this and I'm like, I know that they are the unicorns of the NBA, but there's no way you're not coming to me with at least 3 first-round picks for Trae Young. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not even considering anything less than that. Like, he's too talented. I know point guards are a dime a dozen in this league. There's not a lot of teams that need point guards. But still, I mean, Trae Young is a significantly more valuable player than Mikal Bridges, in my opinion. And the only thing that changes that is positional value, and you can have that argument. But still, even if you include that, like, I'm rather build around Trae Young. Now, the Knicks aren't building. They have Jalen Brunson, so it's a different scenario. But we have to start having different conversations. And if you're not willing to meet these price points that the Hawks should be asking, I have no interest.
Yeah, I think what's really important in all of this is timing. Timing is very important. The Knicks feel as if they were there. They were kind of crawling this past year. They showed signs of life that, hey, maybe we are closer than we think. And I think, for a lot of Trae Young potential suitors, the Spurs you mentioned, they have a long runway where they have no need to kind of go all in. The Lakers are at the end of their runway, so they don't necessarily have the draft capital to make a big deal. So I think when you look at all the landscape of the trade market, that also is a huge factor, as well as all the things that you just mentioned that I saw some Hawks fans on social media last night really talking about how, let's move everybody. Let's move Trae Young, everybody, and let's just recoup everything. And I think you really need to, adjust your expectation that Trae Young is not going to get 5 first-round picks. He is unquestionably a better player than Mikal Bridges. There is no doubt about that. But just like in the NFL, average cornerbacks or quarterbacks per se, average quarterbacks get paid and they get traded for incredible draft capital. The same goes for pitching in baseball. Average starting pitchers get unreal money. That's just the nature of 3-and-D players in the NBA. And it's quite, Hawks players really should, or Hawks fans should really adjust their expectations as far as what they think Trae Young could get. And if you really want to, talk about what Hawks have, what trade assets they have that are going to net a lot in return, I'm looking at DeAndre Hunter.
That's
DeAndre Hunter's coming off a career best. Obviously, he's not Mikal Bridges, but he's under a cheaper contract, 15 points per game. He can defend your toughest player or the best offensive player, and he is on a palatable deal. I mean, I'm looking at, obviously, I want to keep DeAndre Hunter for all those reasons that I just mentioned, that he is a winning basketball player, hasn't lived up to the number 4 overall pick hype. But he's still a winning player.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think is funny, right? Like, how much better is Mikal Bridges than DeAndre Hunter? I don't think the gap is as severe as what he's going to get. Like, right now, if you went out there and saw a hypothetical for DeAndre Hunter,
they're similarly efficient.
You might say, oh, he's due 1 first-round pick. I mean, if the Knicks could get DeAndre Hunter for 1 first-round pick, wouldn't that be a smarter decision than trading 5 first-round picks and then some for Mikal Bridges? Like, listen, I'm not going to
injury concerns, maybe.
Injury concerns for sure.
But even still, no, I'm not trying to make the argument. 5 first-round picks for a guy who has never made the All-Star game, and he's not 21 years old by any means. Like, this guy isn't like, oh, he's on the cusp of all NBA superstardom. Mikal Bridges is what he is. There is not really going to be another level for him.
No, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all, especially considering he's going to be the number 3 option on the Knicks, maybe even the number 4. I mean, it depends what he's going to be, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went to the Knicks and averaged 15 points a game or something like that. I mean, yes, he's going to do it efficiently, but so is DeAndre Hunter. So I just don't. I truthfully am like, I saw that trade and I was like, I guess I was like, oh, well, I get what the Knicks are coming from. Like, they think they're close. I mean, they're looking at this wide open Eastern Conference, but I just was in true shock that the Brooklyn Nets were able to convince a team to give them 5+ first-round picks for a guy that's
they
never
asked
made an
for
All-Star.
6. I don't know if you saw that. They were like,
But,
we
I mean,
demand 6,
it
and they
is-
got 5. That's
and
unbelievable.
And it's one of these trades that if you're the Knicks, right, like it could work out. You are in a wide open Eastern Conference. You probably had the
You
second
just
best
got
team in
2.
the East.
Yeah, definitely. Had the second best team in the East.
If you weren't injured, but
well, the Bucks are
how
right there
close-
with the Knicks, right there.
How close were you really to the Boston Celtics?
So I think
you're not
the
a Mikal Bridges away.
the vision is clear. If you bring OG back, you got Mikal. Those two guys can match up with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Offense beats good defense every single day of the week. But you got 2 stoppers right there.
But I don't even know if OG's coming back. Like,
if OG doesn't,
that's a
big assumption.
If OG doesn't come back, this is essentially the same team.
Worse, because long term they just gave up 5 first-round picks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's essentially the same team, and you gave up all that. And
Yeah.
I
mean, there's no possible scenario where
here
you're
for
the
the
Knicks and you make this trade and don't think you're bringing OG back. There's no way.
I'm here for the Knicks downfall. So this would, and if this doesn't work out, I mean, I know they think it's all great. It's all, we got all the Villanova Wildcats back together, and that all sounds good, but but there's hesitancy here. I have to see what they do for the rest of the offseason, because I'm telling you, 5 first-round picks for a guy that's never been an All-Star. So I don't think we've ever seen anything like that. That has to be the first time that's ever happened. Absolutely incredible stuff for New York. Maybe it works out. Maybe it doesn't. It's at least going to be fun for those people at Madison Square Garden.